Welcome to the CAA and One. I'm Amanda Poole, joined by CAA women's basketball insider Monica Moore. Monica, we are headed into the final weekend of regular season action, and it's officially March. And that means we've got some madness. Teams trying to shake up the standings, starting with Campbell. Talk about a bounce back, falling to Towson at home on Friday, then going on the road to handle Charleston and hand them its first home loss of the season.
Yeah, I thought the Campbell defense once again was absolutely huge in that win over Charleston. You had the league's best defense against the league's best offense. Charleston typically averages around 73 points per game from the floor, and Campbell held them to 57 and held the Cougars to just 29% shooting. I also thought that Campbell showed a lot of resilience in the fourth quarter. They were down by 10 and they came back with a gritty effort on the road. It really helps when you have such a balanced roster. They had 5 players with 8 or more points. And one thing that really stood out to me, you have a player like Na Kanate who comes in the fourth quarter. She only played 12 minutes in the game, but she scores all 4 of her points in that all important fourth quarter. That is fantastic balance, and that's going to be huge for them as we start looking towards the tournament.
No doubt. Now, Stony Brook coming off a 2-0 weekend, putting together a strong win against Hampton on Friday, followed by a gritty win over Elon on Sunday, where it came down to free throws. Now, I want to take a second to look at the big picture, though, with the Stony Brook team. Remember, this is a team that was picked to finish second to last in the preseason poll earlier this year. And now, if the season were to end right now, the Seawolves are a top 3 seed, Monica.
You know, Stony Brook has been tremendous this year, and in particular, they've been tremendous at home. They are 13-1 at Stony Brook Arena. I would not want to have to play Stony Brook there. But, you know, it is not just one thing that's clicking for Stony Brook. I think the key to their success is they're doing a lot of things at a really high level. They've been playing very good defense. They're third in the league right now in scoring defense, holding their league opponents to around 56 points per game. They forced Elon into 21 turnovers this past week, and I thought that was huge in terms of a lot of transition points that they scored. But they also shoot the basketball really well. They take good, smart shots, and they're shooting around 41% as a team right now, which is just second behind Charleston. And in particular, they shoot the three-point shot really well, which I think has been critical to their success. Diaca Beretti has been tremendous. She had 5 made threes against Elon.
We talked about March, right around the corner. So let's take a look at the standings headed in the final weekend of regular season play. Remember, the top 4 seeds get that double bye in the tournament. The 5 through 8 seeds getting that single bye, and then the 12 and 13 seeds will face off on day 1 of the tournament. No one seed just secured just yet.
You know, and I'm really looking at, for instance, number 4 Campbell, number 5 Monmouth. I think
Yeah.
there could be a lot of movement this week. Monmouth only has one league game left against Towson. That's going to be a big one. Campbell has Hampton and number 3 Stony Brook this week. Those double buys are so important. And again, it always comes down to this last week in league play.
And now we'll look ahead at what is so important about this weekend is some of these matchups, starting with Towson at Monmouth tonight at 7. Monmouth coming off an 0-2 weekend and trying to get back in that win column before the tournament. And to do that, I think they'll look to Davine Debula when you look at the Hawks' strongest wins this year, like the Charleston upset, it's Debula that is sparking the offense and putting up points when nothing is going in. And I think she'll be eager to make an impact this week after being held to 14 combined points last weekend.
You know, and for this one, I'm actually looking at a Towson player who I think is going to be critical in terms of the rebounding. I thought Samaya Turner had one of her best games of the season in the earlier matchup between Towson and Monmouth. She had a double-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds. She was also big in the recent win over Stony Brook, where she had double digits. So I'm really looking for her to be one of the players for the Tigers that steps up big in this contest against Monmouth.
And now looking at our flow game of the week, UNCW at North Carolina A&T tonight at 7. Now we've talked about the stat sheet stuffers in Shania Clark and Paris Locke who continue to shine for the Aggies, but I want to talk about the rookie Krista Hardy. She leads the Aggies team with 20 made threes in CAA play and can be that added offensive weapon for A&T when Clark is getting double or triple teamed in most cases. So we know Locke can be a facilitator too to get the shooters open, and Hardy can be that sharpshooter that can change a game for the Aggies.
I'm looking at Kyla Silver for UNCW. I thought she was really big a few weeks ago when these two teams played. She had 12 points and 8 rebounds. She does a little bit of everything for UNCW. She's been in double figures in 10 league games, and I think she could be the difference maker for the Seahawks.
And to round out our game changers, we're looking at Stony Brook at Campbell, two elite defenses going head to head. I love a defensive battle, but I'm going to look at Caitlin Frost for Stony Brook. I think you need somebody that can battle in the paint, especially getting those second chance points. She's also been known to knock down the three here and there, so being a threat past the perimeter could be a big deal for Stony Brook. So I think winning that rebounding margin is going to be so important, and Caitlin Frost can do just that.
I'm looking at Campbell's Jasmine Felton. I thought she was really strong in the win over Charleston with 12 points and 8 rebounds. Frankly, she's been really strong all season long on a very balanced Campbell team where she averages almost 10 points per game and 6 rebounds. She facilitates for her teammates. She plays good defense. She's played the most minutes on the floor of any Camel this season. They feel like they just have to have her on the floor.
So much to look forward to, Monica. I can't believe we made it to the final weekend of regular season action before more madness starts up with the tournament coming up in just a couple of weeks. So stay tuned on our social medias. Follow CAA Basketball on Twitter and catch all the action live, of course, on Flow College. Well, for Monica Moore, I'm Amanda Poole, and we will see you at the tournament.